So, have you ever discovered a feature on one of your Apple devices and wondered, why didn't I know about this sooner? Apple's packed a ton of useful stuff in their devices over the years, but many of the really useful things are easy to overlook. So, in this video today, I'm going to show you 6 features that can make your devices more convenient, more capable, and in a couple of cases, actually even a little safer. Let's make sure you're getting the most from the Apple devices you already own. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dan Fox, and I've been professionally helping people with technology for over 3 decades. On this channel, I help you get the most real-world value out of your devices without drowning you in technical jargon. And sometimes I can even help you save money too. So let's start with one that solves a problem that we've all run into. Face ID, that's the technology that unlocks your phone by scanning your face. It works great until your face is partially covered or for some reason it doesn't recognize you. Maybe you're wearing a winter hat, a scarf, sunglasses, maybe even a motorcycle helmet or a mask for Halloween. Regardless, if you wear an Apple Watch, your iPhone can actually still recognize that it's you and unlock your iPhone even when Face ID can't get a complete view of your face. Super easy to turn on. All you have to do is open the settings on your iPhone and then scroll all the way down until you see Face ID and passcode. Select on that. You'll be required to put in your iPhone's passcode to get to these settings. Next, just scroll down until you see the name of your Apple Watch. Turn on the setting here and you'll get a notification that pops up that tells you Apple Watch will be used if your face isn't recognized. Select turn on and that's it. And this unlock with Apple Watch setting only works if you put your watch on your wrist and then unlocked your watch with a passcode. So it's very secure. And every time your iPhone is unlocked with your Apple Watch, you'll get a quick pop-up on your Apple Watch letting you know this happened. Now, as a side note, there's another setting in here that's called Use Face ID with a mask. This works a little bit differently and something I'll cover in another video. But just know, for today, you've now enabled your Apple Watch to be able to unlock your iPhone. Once you've used this one a few times, it's one of those little features that you won't want to live without. Okay, this next feature is one of the most important ones I'm going to talk about today. If you wear an Apple Watch, fall detection can recognize when you've taken a hard fall. If you're okay, you simply dismiss the alert that pops up on your Apple Watch screen. But if you don't respond and you don't click that button, your watch can automatically contact emergency services and also notify your emergency contacts, giving them your current location. It works like this. After the fall is detected, Apple Watch will give you about 30 seconds to click I'm okay. If you don't do that, it will proceed with calling emergency services. When emergency services answers the phone, your watch will tell them in a repeated loop that it has detected a hard fall, and it will then provide your location in the form of longitude and latitude to make sure emergency services can find you. It will then send a message to your emergency contacts on your phone, letting them know that you've called emergency services and also providing your current location to your emergency contact. If you're moved to a new location, so let's say the ambulance picks you up and takes you to the hospital, your emergency contacts will get an updated message from your watch letting them know you've moved and also letting them know your new location. Now, one thing to note here, your Apple Watch will of course have to be able to connect to your calling service. So if it has its own cellular service plan, then of course it can connect. If it's in range of your iPhone, then of course it can also connect and make the call. Or if it's on a Wi-Fi network that your iPhone has previously been on, it can go ahead and make that call. This is one of those features I hope none of us ever have to use, but it's kind of reassuring knowing that it's always there. If you haven't checked whether or not you have this turned on, today is a really good day to do that, and here's exactly how you do it. On your iPhone, open the Watch app, and then scroll down until you see Emergency SOS. Select that, then scroll down until you see Fall Detection. Turn this on here, and then click Confirm here. That's it. Now, I really wanted to show fall detection kicking in on my Apple Watch to show you all, but you have to fall really hard for this to kick in, and I'm just too old for that. All right, let's go to the next one. How many times have you received a PDF that needs your signature? A lot of people still print that out on paper, get a pen out, sign the PDF, and then scan it back into their computer before emailing it back. In another video, I showed you previously how you can take an iPad and an Apple Pencil, sign a PDF, and send it directly to your Mac. But if you don't have an iPad, your Mac gives you another option. and it's really easy to do. Now, this method does require you to sign your name on a piece of paper again, but only one time, hopefully ever again, because your Mac will remember your signature from now on. Now, once you've signed to that piece of paper, all you have to do is go to your Mac and double click the PDF that you want to open so it opens in the preview app, and then select this little symbol right here. It looks like a signature. Once you select this, it'll start with a trackpad. I could never get this to work very well, but select camera right here. Then you're going to want to hold the document up in front of the camera. That's the paper that you just signed with your signature on it. Get it lined up on this blue line as best you can. It's a little clunky to do this. It might take a few tries, but when you got it lined up, just hit done. And now your signature is saved forever here in the preview app. So all you have to do is select the signature to add it to a document. You can drag it over, you can resize it. If you need another signature somewhere on another page or whatever, all you have to do is click up here and click it again, and you can add signatures wherever you need. But the nice thing about it is when you close this PDF and then you open it back up, it's actually flattened, which is a term that means it cannot be edited. So now your signature is baked into this document. It can't be moved, edited, or changed by anyone else after you send it to the recipient. And now for all future documents and from now on, your signature is ready whenever you need it. And because this is tied to your iCloud account, this will even be available the next time you get a new Mac. Before we continue, if you're finding this video helpful, I would really appreciate it if you'd give it a like. And if you enjoy practical Apple tips like these or help in buying new Apple devices without all the tech talk, consider subscribing. Both of these things really help support my channel, and I genuinely really do appreciate it. Okay, let's keep going. Most people know that the Apple Watch has a flashlight built in. What many people don't know is that it also includes several different flashlight modes. The standard white light, it works really well when you need to see something nearby in the dark. I do use this regular white light mode quite often. There's also a solid red mode that's a little bit easier on your eyes, I suppose, if you don't want to light up the room with your watch flashlight. I never really use this one. I really want to talk about the third mode. That's the flashing light on your Apple Watch. If you find yourself out walking before sunrise or after sunset when it's a little dark, this flashing mode can really make it easier for people around you to see you, especially those in vehicles that may be driving by. Now this one's a no-brainer, of course, but on any Apple Watch, hit this button right here and then hit the flashlight button right there. That's how you get to the regular white light flashlight. If you swipe to the left, this is how you get to the flashing white light. And if you find it useful, swipe once more to get to that red light. It's really quick to access, it's always on your wrist, and it's one of those little features that is surprisingly useful. And with modern Apple Watches, it is surprisingly bright. Okay, let's talk about the next one. If you own an Apple TV, then you're familiar with how little the remote control is. And chances are good you've probably lost this at least once. We lose hours in the couch almost every single night. Now, the good news here is if you have a newer Apple TV, the remote can actually be located with your iPhone. All you have to do is swipe down from the upper right-hand corner of your home screen to get into Control Center and then click this button right here, which is the Apple TV Remote app. Yours may be in a slightly different location depending on the configuration of your Control Center. Now, if you have more than one Apple TV in your house, you'll need to select this button at the top that says Choose a TV and select which TV you're working with. All you have to do now is select this Find button to find the lost remote. Now, if you're way too far away, it may ask you to move in a different direction, but once you get into the same room with the remote, you'll see this radar type screen that'll show this emanating blue circle that will get bigger and bigger as you get closer and closer, and eventually where it says near, that will change to here, and that means you're basically right on top of the remote. And there it is again. Now this makes it so much easier to track down the remote rather than digging through the couch and removing all the cushions and hoping for the best. And once you know this is there, it's a feature that you will probably use often, especially if someone in your family loses the remote a lot. All right, let's finish with a feature that's a great example of how well Apple devices work together. If you have an iPhone and a Mac, your iPhone can actually become the web camera for your Mac. And just like all the features today, this one's super easy to turn on. Just open the settings of your iPhone and scroll down to General, select that. Then scroll down to AirPlay and Continuity and select that. Then scroll down just a bit and select Continuity Camera. And this is really the only setting you have to turn on your iPhone. But as a reminder, as with most of these features that work between Apple devices, you will need to make sure they're both logged into the same Apple account with two-factor authentication enabled. They both need to be on Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and they have to be near each other. Now, once you have that continuity camera setting turned on, all you have to do is lock your iPhone and then turn it horizontally. Then you want to mount it somewhere where the rear-facing camera is facing you. Just like this. And now this app works for pretty much all video call apps. Now, if the video call application you're using doesn't automatically switch over to using your iPhone camera like it did for me here, you can go into the settings like I am here with video and then selecting the camera, depending on which application you're using. Zoom or Teams will have different settings, but you should still be able to select the iPhone camera if it doesn't automatically select it. And because your iPhone has a much better camera system than almost every webcam I've ever heard of, the video is going to look noticeably sharper during your FaceTime calls, your Zoom calls, any application that is using the video on your Mac. I also like to use it when I need to show someone in the call something that's not at my desk, because instead of trying to carry my laptop around or whatever, I can just pick up my phone and use it as the camera in my call that is still on the Mac. Again, it's a very simple feature, but it really does work well. Okay, that's it. Those are 6 Apple features that I honestly think you're going to find are quite useful and very much worth your time. If there's other Apple features that you use all the time that you think more people should know about, let everybody know below in the comments. Again, I read every single comment, and many of my future videos come from your suggestions and your questions in the comments. Also, if you liked this video, check out the other ones that are on screen now that also focus specifically on Apple device features. I'd also like to take a quick moment to thank new channel members up on screen here. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I really appreciate your continued support of my channel. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.